Right, it's on now.
Okay.
I just hope nothing falls.
Come on over.
Oh my god, this is like Operation. Buzz.
Buzz.
Okay.
Is the lighting okay?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get really scared.
It's very dark and ominous in here tonight.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Is that
nice.
nice?
Do you want to hear?
I'm scared.
Hello.
Is it me?
But if you speak into the side, you can see it's
Yeah.
not as...
Oh, so you need it like right on the knob.
Yeah, this is where like... Oh.
That was... I don't know
What if I just turn it up? If I turn it up, it'll be better than that.
Yeah. We are on a romantic date. And we are going to kiss at the end. Stick around.
How do we introduce it? We've not done one.
So, should we just give them like a bit of backstory about the podcast?
Yeah.
Sort of the idea.
Yeah.
So it's horrible humour advice.
Okay.
Ew. I think it was your idea. You reached out and I was like, I have been wanting to, but I didn't know. Because obviously if it's like a consistent thing, that's when it's best.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, but we obviously with how far we live from each other, like we can't just hop around a day after work or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be difficult. So
it's annoying that we're in the same city,
but
we live on different sides of it.
So here is our little podcast released onto the Dill and G YouTube channel.
Scandal.
We're still alive. We're alive and thriving.
Yes.
And we just thought we'd do it. The phone has moved. Can you see it? I don't think it'll make too much difference. I think we're going to go around a bit. Can you see how it's sort of slanted?
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Why is that? It might be the weight
It's
of
the wire, yeah.
thing, yeah.
But it can't be wiggling it around that much. Can it?
I don't know.
I'm going to go... Is it okay if I budge it forward?
go
Just
for
in
it.
case.
Why wouldn't it be?
Just because I don't want to affect like the camera will sound. Which
But
is
it's
what I'm
not.
about to do. I'm about to affect the camera.
The sound's not going to change as long as it's plugged in.
Okay, that should do it.
I'm damned if I do, give a damn what people say. It's stuck in my head.
I love it.
Doesn't it sound professional?
It sounds scary.
Scary.
You sound like Miranda sings then.
Stop it.
So yeah, I thought we'd do a podcast. This is, I'm going to call it episode 0.
Yeah.
This is the pilot.
Just trialling it to see what happens.
Georgianne christened it. Do you want to tell them what you christened the podcast?
We have christened this podcast as our baby. I Digress.
I Digress. So welcome to I Digress. The aim is we don't have one. And we are special and unique in that way because there's not a podcast on this earth that just talks about whatever they want each week. That's a lie, of course.
Yeah,
but
there probably is.
That's our selling point.
Probably loads.
But in my head, with the
but
only
none
one,
with the amount of chemistry we have.
There we go. So we're just going to talk about different things, whatever we want. And you can watch, and we'd like you to. And
if you
listen.
like it. If you don't.
And that is completely valid. So
but it's
welcome
not,
to
though.
it.
You won't if you don't like it.
There we go. So what are we talking about for episode 0, the pilot of I Digress?
Well, for today's episode, we decided we would talk about spirituality and like ghosts and ghouls and our experiences with those topics.
Spooky. I'm actually really nervous.
We won't need to watch a horror film after this conversation.
Oh.
It's been enough for me.
Do you want to just go ahead? Because I know you have more experience in
Well,
this sort of field than I do.
I'm not like... No.
Just heard my beep.
I'm not like psychic or anything, but it interests me. And I've got people in my family who Sorry, I digress. I have like a few people in my family who have like experienced things to do with like spirituality and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to talk about.
Is there any
Should I
way?
start in my demon story?
Yeah.
So, when I was younger, I think I was very... Is susceptible a word?
Susceptible? Yeah. You were susceptible.
Yeah, does
What
that
were
mean
you?
open to it?
It depends on what's the sentence.
So I was susceptible. It doesn't sound right. Susceptible to like spiritual things.
I think that works.
Basically, if there was a ghost, I probably saw it in it.
Oh, I think I've
Not
heard
saying,
bits
like,
and bobs of this. Yeah.
I'm a medium or anything, because I'm not. I can't do it anymore. But children usually are like more prone to like seeing and hearing things.
Right.
So like if you ever see like a baby like at night time and they like sit up and like they'll be looking in the corner and they're like laughing at something, they can probably see something. Like they pick up energy more. Same with dogs and cats and stuff. My cat Oreo, I think she sees demons in the house, or she sees something anyway, because she'll like stand up and she'll look at something and it's always in the hallway. She'll look at it, her ears will go back and she will run for the hills. So I think she sees things. But that's a different story. I digress.
See, if I saw a child look at something in the corner of the room, I'm having an exorcism. I don't think I could I'm going to bed. Basically, I'm doing my little trick.
Yeah.
And I'm just rolling over, pretending it didn't happen, and falling asleep.
I just think... I don't know where I was going with that. I need a burp.
Burp.
It's not coming out.
Is it trapped wind?
Oh, it's coming.
That's disgusting.
Where's it gone?
What is this?
Oh, it's
podcast?
gone. Sorry, we can cut that out.
I'm gonna keep it
Okay.
in.
Where was I going? Basically, when I was little, I used to go to the bottom of the garden. I can't remember this happening, but I used to play near the shed at the bottom of the garden. A bit weird for me, but okay. My mum would come up to me and she'd be like, "Who are you talking to at the bottom of the garden?" And I'd say, "The three ladies that live in our shed at the bottom of the garden." And my mum was like, but yeah, it's just a bit weird. My sister...
Were they nice? You don't remember?
I don't remember them. I'm guessing they were nice because I used to like have like proper conversations with them.
God.
I also used to have an imaginary friend, which I think a lot of kids do, but I used to like really have an imaginary friend. Like I used to talk to them on the way home from school. And then
what was their name?
Lotta.
Lotta?
Yeah.
You better work, Lotta.
I got Lotta from Charlie and Loli. No, Charlie and Lola.
Loli.
I think Lola's best friend was called Lotta, so that's where I got that name from.
See, I was one of those kids who like didn't have an imaginary friend, but I was so desperate to have one to fit in. I was like, yeah, I've got one. I talk to them all the time. Don't worry about it.
See, I think that imaginary friends are like spirits.
Do you think Lotta was
Or like
doing?
energies.
Do you think that's what it was with
Well,
Lotta?
I think so, because in my head she was so real, but I don't... And in my head I had like what she looked like as well.
Yeah.
But that was also heavily influenced by what Lotta looked like in Charlie and Lola. So it could have just been my imagination. But I think I believed it so much. Like I talked to her all the time. Angel had one as well, my sister. She had a imaginary friend called Millie, and she used to blame everything on Millie. If something bad had happened, she'd blame it on Millie. She'd be like, "Millie did it."
Like what?
Like she'd tell her off as well. She'd be like, "Millie, I can't believe you did that."
But what did she do?
I don't know, I can't remember. Like if like she got in trouble for something, she'd be like, it was Millie. Millie told me to do it.
God.
Scary. She also, Angel's a freak. No offense. She also used to, we were going through like family photos. Wait, no, that's the last bit of the story. I digress. The
Take a shot every time the name of the podcast is mentioned.
Do it.
I love how our laughing is wobbling the camera.
She used to point to the corner of a room and she used to laugh, like properly laugh.
Who? Angel?
Angel.
Okay.
But this was when she was like a baby, like a toddler baby. So she couldn't talk or anything. She just used to like laugh and like point to the corner of the room. We were going through family photos and she pointed to a picture of my great nan, who she never met, by the way. She pointed to a picture of her and she started laughing just like she did when she was in the corner. And I'm not gonna lie, no disrespect to my great nan, but she was terrifying. Like she used to wear a wig, because
come on, wig. Sorry.
she had like I can't remember whether she had like really really thin hair or whether like she hardly had any.
Come on, brittle. Sorry. Brittle like her. Oh, I shouldn't speak ill. I shouldn't speak. They're coming after me next week.
But like she was, I don't know, I just used to find her really scary. But she used to give me shortbread, so
we love a shortbread.
I love shortbreads. I feel like that's such like a great nan thing to have.
Was she your great nan?
Yeah, my nan's mom.
Oh my gosh. I feel like great nans are always scary.
They are.
They're like
They've always got like beards.
Hair. Yes. I remember like my great nan. I think she died when I was 7, and I remember like my nan would take me and my brother up to the care home, which I pass every day on the walk to work now. And like I remember used to go there, and I remember thinking like this place is so scary because it was so dark.
Yeah.
Like it was so dark. Everything was brown, and the lights were horribly dim.
Yeah.
And I remember like we'd go to her room because like I don't think she was ever anywhere other than her room. And like me and my brother would sit down, great nan would be in the chair, and she'd just be looking at us like she didn't know who we were. Like she never spoke to us. And my nan would cook her like a meal or something, sit with her and eat, and then that would be it. And then we'd go. And I remember just being like, I don't know. I just remember every time I walked past it, I always remember how dark it was in there. Yeah. Like it seemed like the lights, I don't know, there must have been electricity cut bats or something. Cut bats. Cut backs. I wasn't surprised if there were bats in there. It was dark enough. It was like a cave. But yeah, great nans are a bit scary, aren't they?
Scary. But if you think about it, like my nan, if she's like still around, hopefully, when like I have children, are my children going to be scared of her because she would be like their great nan?
I don't know. I don't think she's scary.
No, she's not, but maybe she will be when she's like 90 approaching 100.
We'll pop one out now then. Earlier the better.
No. I'll tell me.
I feel dirty for saying that. Pop one out now. Ew.
Dirty. Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh, but I want to be a gunkle.
But not yet. You will one day.
I haven't know.
They're not gonna call you Gunkle Dylan. They're gonna.
No, I will make them call me Gunkle Dylan.
No.
When I come round, they'll be like Gunkle.
You know, like Megan Trainor's kid.
Oh,
Chris
gay
is
rights.
Gay rights. That's gonna be my child.
But it'll be Gunkle. Gunkle.
The first word will be slay.
And then there'll be drag queens. I will be their drag mothers.
Okay.
And we'll start a dynasty. And we shall rival the Colby dynasty. And we shall win back-to-back seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. We'll come back for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars and win all those too.
What if they don't want to be a drag queen?
What else are they going to do? They better not be straight. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
Because I won't be Gunkle then. I'll just be Dylan. Mum's friend. You think I'm joking? I don't like straight people. And that's a quote.
Excuse me.
But, like, you're an ally, so you're the A. LGBTQIA.
No, A doesn't stand for ally.
Actually, it does. I think it's, like,
I thought
ally,
it was
asexual.
asexual.
But I think ally is also in there. I'm sure. I've heard that somewhere.
How can it be? We're not part of a community, we just support it.
Girl, I
Because then
didn't.
that's just giving straight people a letter in the alphabet.
Well, I didn't make up the letters, so have a go with who did. Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Is this our first fight? So,
We digress. No,
we
we've had
digress.
many fights.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
We've had many debates and many discussions.
Well, I've had to run away into my room because, because I had enough of a conversation.
I don't
And
think
then
that was
he'd
a fight though. That was
follow He'd follow me into my room. I'd be like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. So I'd have to go to my room, and then he'd follow me and go, no, 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 are you my friend? And then
yes, that's not a fight.
no,
I wouldn't
used
say
to go
that's a
in.
fight. I'd say that was just I was clearly hitting a nerve,
Yeah,
but we were both in bad spaces
but you
in
didn't
the
know when to
lockdown.
stop.
I think it's because I don't even know. I think I just saw an easy way out for you in the lockdown. Like, what was upsetting you, like, being apart from your family and things.
Mm.
And I think, clearly, you were being very sensible and be like, well, I'm going to wait.
Mm.
And also, I was very lucky that my partner was with us in the lockdown. So I was
Yeah.
coming from a very privileged standpoint in that conversation.
That's what annoyed me.
And I wasn't clearly getting
Yeah.
what you were saying. And, yeah. But I wouldn't call that an argument or a fight. I just think that was a really big misunderstanding. Because if I'd have just respected you and just been like, she's clearly upset, she's clearly very in her head, as anybody would be in that situation, then fair enough. Let her
Yeah.
sleep on it. We'll talk about it in the morning if you wanted to. Or I should have just offered you like a hug or a helping hand or like been there a bit more for you. But instead, I was like in the moment and like, no, listen to me. No, listen, I'm trying to help. No, listen. And like, you clearly just didn't want my help. And I was like, no, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you. I'm bobbing this mic so much.
It's not very in a stable position. It's fine, she'll live.
But yeah, I won't call that a fight.
I
Would you
don't
call it a
actually-
fight? And we've never
No.
fought. We've
haven't.
bickered.
We've just bicker like siblings.
Well, that's about it.
Like, there are times where like we've stormed off to our rooms on occasion.
Have I stormed off to my room ever? Like, after talking
To
to
be
you?
fair, it's usually me
I was-
storming and you chasing
I
after
was-
me.
Because I don't like ending things on a, like, sour note. Like, because I won't sleep. Which is very
Yeah.
selfish of me. But I know that I'm like, oh my god, for, like, my peace of mind, just say we're friends.
When you used
and
to bully
then-
me in Everard, I used to...
Why are you
I
exposing
used
me on
to
this podcast?
run up the stairs. This isn't even... This is why it's called I Digress, because we don't know
We're
the same
going off,
topic.
yeah.
I'd
Go
run
off,
up-
sis. Sorry.
I'd run up the stairs to my room. You'd be like, oh, you've got a flat arse or something.
Oh my god.
You're editing it, you don't have to keep it in.
No,
I'd
I
run up
am.
to
I'm just
my-
gonna, because I can't be bothered. It's just, what it is, what it is.
I like that.
It's real, it's raw, and it is
And that is what makes it
special.
special, unique. Well,
Unique. That was a Beyonce reference.
was it?
Yeah, Renaissance album. That's what you are. Unique.
Oh.
Alien superstar.
Oh.
Love it. Do you like my vocal fry? I digress. So, I said she had a flat ass.
To be fair, though, I did.
But I don't think you
But
need to be told.
You didn't need.
I think I was insecure though. I think sometimes I was like,
I think.
you're so put together. Like, you had Jordan, and I think I was still like really insecure about not being in a relationship.
Mm.
And I was sort of like, well, I gotta pick on her for something. Gotta bring her down a peg. I don't know why. That just speaks to my insecurity. But also, I think second year was really. It sounds so stupid, but every time I think about a second year, it's really dark. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Like, just all the time, it's dark. Like, weather-wise. Like, I think it's because when we finished,
It was.
it was like, we'd leave uni, but then it was a 25-minute walk to get to our house.
Yeah.
and it was just really long, winding roads. And also that bit, the road that we were on was like really scary because we had a brook and this dark forest and there were foxes and things in there, and it was just really scary.
It was
and we were
terrifying.
right at the end.
Yeah.
And I just remember that walk being really long, cold, and exhausting. And I remember like second year was that day where like I'd be in 9 till 5, and then we'd have
had that day
loco.
as well, yeah.
We'd have our society.
Yeah.
And I remember they'd always have a go at me for being half an hour late, but I'd told them that I have to have something to eat.
Yeah.
So after my last lecture, I'd go and eat, and then I'd come to the society a bit later because I've just done a 9 to 5, and they wanted me to stay till 10, and I wasn't doing it. Well, I was, but I was going to come a bit late for it. So I remember just it was being really long, cold, hard, and exhausting, and also COVID hit in the next term, so we only really had half of that term, and then obviously that was spring, and it was really hot.
The summer was really nice though.
But I just remember everything educational wise second year was really dark. Like it was, I'd get there when it was dark, I'd come out when it was dark.
All of our classes were online, so
yeah. But also after that, when second year, because for me second year finished early because I submitted everything like straight away.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to carry on doing it online or whatever, so I just dumped it and submitted it, and I was like, there you go, I'm over it. And then I stayed with you guys that summer, and the summer was lovely, and it was really hot, like, but not like boiling. It was just lovely weather. We'd go to the Swans, and it was really weird. Like I remember when McDonald's reopened, it was a massive like moment. Was you there for that bit?
No,
or did you leave just before that bit?
I left at the end of May after Rebecca's party.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember when McDonald's opened, I think it was June, I think you must have just missed it then.
Yeah.
When McDonald's reopened and it was like, you can't eat in, we'd go in, order the food, and then we'd go and sit on the benches by the river and eat there. And like, I remember the first time we had it, I was like, this is the longest I've probably been without a McDonald's, probably since I first had it.
Yeah.
And like, it was such a big moment, and it was just like glorious. And I remember just being like, this is weird. So that summer was nice, and I think it was literally just second year was really dark. So what I'm trying to say in a really roundabout way is that I think I was just not in a very good place mentally.
You were projecting.
I think I was I think that's what it is. I was just very upset, but very sort of miserable, and I was just taking it out on everybody.
Yeah.
I don't do that now though. That's because we don't live with each other, so.
No, I feel like you're...
Third year was nice.
Yeah.
I was that nice in third year. When
Yeah.
I think I was.
Yeah.
And first year I was alright. It was just second year.
No, first year.
Oh, here we go.
We had a different drama in every single year, I think.
What was the drama in third? The lockdown bit.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
that.
What was
And
second
also,
year?
like,
Me bullying you.
The big fat breakup that you went through in third year.
But that wasn't like it. I didn't think that affected us. Like
I felt like I was in it. Like I was going through it.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's like selfish, but I think it's because I'm like
You're an empath. Like.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like as much as other people, but if somebody feels something, I tend to like
feel it.
Feel it as
I
well.
wasn't a positive person to be around during that whole summer.
Yeah, I think it was like for me though, like you still going there. Like it would be like messages at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm leaving now. I'm walking down.
Oh, I
and
get
I'd be like,
you.
oh, he's walking down there to see him.
Yeah.
When
that sounds really weird. Just for context, in third year, the relationship broke up with my boyfriend at the time, but we'd still be seeing each other after the breakup.
Yeah.
So like he'd message me at like 2 a.m. This is no lies. This is all tea. Sip. He'd message me at like 2 in the morning, come round, and I'd message Georgianne just so she knew that I wasn't missing when she woke up in the morning and I wasn't there for breakfast. I'd be like, I'm going down to my ex's for the night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then like you'd probably hear me get my shoes on, open the really. I did get really good at being quiet because I did it so many times.
Yeah, I think it was frustrating for me as a friend because
I knew that
it wasn't healthy. It wasn't helping you. It was prolonging the process that was inevitably like going to happen.
Yeah.
Like when it first happened, I was like, I didn't mind as much because I thought maybe
Get it out your system.
they'll work it out. It might just be a little blip.
I love that you were thinking that. It was a hopeless situation.
It might just be a little blip in the relationship. It wasn't.
Little. Little big blip.
Big little blip. Well, it wasn't, and I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad, like...
Oh, yeah, I'm glad
you didn't.
that we don't talk anymore.
Thank God.
And actually, I'm quite glad, even though it was detrimental to my mental health, and just health in general, to be seeing this person after he broke up with me. I think
you learnt a lot during that period about who they really were as a person,
but also like what I can handle.
Yeah.
And I know that I can't handle actually having that strong connection with someone, them betraying the trust, and then them sort of just using me and going like, come down when you want, and me giving them like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with no second thought. Walking down the streets at 2 a.m. Like, what was I thinking? But also I'm glad I did that because I've gone through it now and I know that I'd never let my self-respect go down to that level.
Yeah.
And as soon as that person, or, you know, whoever they may be, betrays my trust like that again, that is it. Blocked. We're not talking. I'm not seeing you. I don't want to hear what you have to say because you've said it all with your actions. Hence why there's no trust.
There was a quote I saw the other day where it said, you don't always have to hear what somebody has to say because it's shown through their actions. But
yeah.
Exactly what you just said. But
no, it's true.
Made me think about it. And I was
exactly
like,
right.
that is so true. Because your actions do speak louder than words. What's stopping that person from saying a load of like rot when you go down and like speak to them? And it also gives them an opportunity then, if they're like toxic, it gives them an opportunity.
And they were. So.
It gives them an opportunity then to like try and weasel their way back into your head.
Yeah.
With their...
Was that my belly or yours?
That was yours.
That was someone's
That was grumbling.
I think I'm digesting, guys.
Yeah. We've eaten a lot today.
But I've not regretted a single morsel.
No, I haven't either.
But yeah, I don't know how we got there. Oh, dramas of each year. So that was drama of third year, along with the lockdown thing.
We've spoken about spirituality for about 5 minutes.
To be fair, we did talk about it quite a lot before we turned on the camera. And I feel like we've ended that conversation and we've just moved on. I digress, but we're going to continue. So
yeah, I will tell my demon story.
Okay, yeah.
Not yet though.
Let's finish this one year first. Was me bullying you. And oh no.
The ending of the disgusting, not relationship, but relationship that you had. That was awful.
That was weird.
That was traumatic. That was, for me, more...
I'm thinking back.
I feel like we've gone through a lot of things with you, but together.
Well, it's because I sort of need help. Like, I can't deal with these things on my own.
I think it's because we always say that we live, like, double lives.
We do.
So, a lot of the things that Dylan has been through, it's already happened to me. I'm older and wiser. No.
It's true. She turns 25 this year.
And you're not even 23 yet? That makes me feel sick.
I'm a baby. Ooh.
Please cut that out. It's disgusting.
I'm going to zoom in. No,
yeah, please.
No, I'm not touching this footage. It's going straight on. It is?
That's fine. Just don't say anything
untoward.
Yeah.
I won't bully you again.
No, well, no, I'll just bully you back.
Yeah, and it'll be on camera, so I've got video evidence. So what would you say, sorry? Oh yeah, so was that a second year?
Yeah.
End of a weird situationship.
Yeah, that was awful.
First year was the beginning of the situationship.
Yeah, awful.
That was our biggest.
That was
but
awful.
I wouldn't say that was a fallout though, because what that was the drifting. Because we never actually argued. I don't think. I wouldn't say we argued.
No, there were times where I would say things to you that you didn't want to hear, but that's because I didn't want to sugarcoat anything. Because
she's a real one, honey.
I think we got our friendship was like we met each other and then we were friends, like instantly.
Yeah.
It wasn't sort of like a can't remember ever growing a friendship with you.
I remember we'd seen each other in lessons.
Yeah.
We'd seen each other in loco, and then suddenly one loco we were like, I know you from drama, Georgianne or something. And then suddenly we were like, we were in each other's
inseparable.
houses. We were going to loco and lessons together.
Yeah.
And
it all happened like really quickly.
we were kissing the same guys.
Let's not go about that.
Okay, we won't talk about lip muncher.
It was
that noise, isn't it? But I think first year was like, that was our first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that was a fallout. I just think it was like me and you got really close, and then suddenly I just stopped talking to you.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
Well, I remember it as you would come over, but you would only come over when you wanted to talk about that person.
Yes.
If something had happened. So you would come over and like you'd be in my dorm room until literally like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you'd go, and then
I wouldn't see you for like ages and ages.
You wouldn't see me for ages.
What it was,
until something again had happened.
That's what it was.
And you came back.
Sometimes
it was
wasn't
like I was your
even...
therapist. I should have just started charging.
It wasn't even. Do you know what? I knew that I wanted to see you, but I think because this situationship was sort of around 24/7. Sometimes, like it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was sort of like similar to the situation with my ex, where it was like they'd say like, come here, and like I'd have to drop all plans and be there.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't go to society because they wanted to go spoons, and I wouldn't.
They say
go
jump.
To,
you say how high.
I'd be very much like sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember sometimes, like I knew that I was like, oh, I really want to go to see Georgianne. Like I really want to speak to her. One, because I missed you, but two, also because like this situationship is so intense. I just have to talk about it because I think I was internalizing a lot of everything and all the feelings.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is too much for me. It's way too intense. I need to speak to someone I can trust, and that was you. And I remember there was one time when they were going out to some person who I worked at Spoons to go see a film. This person was a stranger to all of us. Like, this person was not a friend. This person was a weirdo, in my opinion. My own humble, you know.
No offense to that person.
No, but all tea. Honestly. I smell it. I didn't like that.
Shh, you're ruining it.
We just lost half our audience. So 2 people are watching.
I won't gulp into it.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
No, I won't.
But I remember they were going round to watch some film at this person's place who worked at Spoons. And I remember being like, I'm not doing that. What? Do you know what it was? It wasn't I'm not going to do that, because I obviously would have, because they said let's go. I saw it as an opportunity for me to go, I'm tired, which I was, and also for me to go, while they're at the film, I can go see Georgianne. So like it was like stealing any moment.
It was like a secret. Like
it
had
really
like
was.
A secret
Well, because they didn't like you, and like they said to me loads of times.
Like me.
Oh, is the tea, honey bunny?
They didn't like me because they were a rat, and I sniffed out the rat very first. I will never ever forget the first time I properly met them, and we were at karaoke.
Oh my god.
They were with their friend, and they tried to get with every single person. They even spoke to me, and I was having none of it. I saw through everything.
And they were all over me. That's the thing.
But then they didn't even...
Like, they were all over everyone, and then, like, they were on to... Like, do you know what I mean?
It's like when... If you go
really
to the
weird.
toilet, they'd be on everybody else. And then you come back, and then it would be Dylan, Dylan, Dylan.
It was weird. And then I went to the toilet myself, came back, and they'd gone.
Yeah, they did. That's how much he cared about you.
And they said to the rest that they were going... Did they say they were looking for me?
No.
So they I know they went upstairs to go to the bar.
Yeah.
But then I think the next time I saw them, or when I messaged them, they said that they were actually looking for me, which I knew to be false because I was clear.
They went out clubbing.
I
They went to
told
Velvet.
everybody I went to the toilet.
Yeah, they went to Velvet.
So that was weird.
That was that Peaky Blinders one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I remember Georgia's hat.
She looks so good.
She always looks good.
Queen. We need to
Diva.
get her on the podcast when it kicks off. If it kicks off.
It doesn't
will.
matter if it does or
I'm
don't. I just want to
enjoying this. I feel like we should just like keep going.
I've got an itchy belly.
Oh, that was really loud. I like
Was it? I'm sorry. So those were the stories of probably the times of tension between Dill and G.
How did we get here?
Let's just go back to the demon.
Okay, demons. So,
I
I
hope it's still
digress.
recording. Do you want to check? Just to
Shall
be,
I?
yeah, quickly, just to be safe.
Gosh, my ear feels weird now. But
Because
I've
it
had,
feels like we're shouting, but we can't be.
I feel like we are.
Do you know what? If we are, we
If
are.
we are, we are.
We are, we are. Just let me know if the count is still going at the top.
Yeah.
What time is it on?
36 minutes.
Alright, we'll finish this story.
Podcasts are usually an
Wrap up.
hour long anyway. And if you're not editing it, just go up in it.
But it might take like, how long does 36 minutes? I don't even know. Do you know what? It'll be as long as it'll be. And you don't have to watch all of it. You can just go wherever you want to.
Only true fans will stay until the end. Has it moved again?
So I've put this in my ear. Is that okay? Just suck it off, it'll be okay.
I ain't licking it.
It's honey, honey, honey.
Honey, honey,
Oh, you feel me? Honey, honey. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what I was doing.
it was the eye contact.
I really liked it there.
And me.
Should we do it again?
Yeah.
Demons. Ooh, I'm not doing that,
That was
again.
loud.
That was absolutely horrendous. I'm
Should we
sorry.
put the echo on?
No.
Hello.
I hate that. Why are we in a tunnel? Why don't I want to be in a tunnel?
Yeah, so demons. When I was younger, the house before we live in now was haunted. Like, extremely haunted. I had so many weird things happen, and so did like everybody else in the family. That's where the 3 witches were. That's where... You're
What
right.
the What did I say? Could you hear the car?
No.
Okay. So, the 3 witches, was that the 3 women in the shed?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've just come to the terms that they're probably witches. With like a cauldron or something. It makes me think of Macbeth.
I was
every
gonna
time
say
hear the
that.
story.
It's serving Shakespeare.
Yeah, but I was too young to know what Shakespeare was, so I doubt it was.
And you don't remember, anyway.
No.
Did you hear my toe click?
Yeah.
I digress.
So, yeah.
So your Angel, I remember what we got to was Angel was pointing and laughing at a picture,
yeah.
and it was your great nan, and she
Yeah.
used to point and laugh at something in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, what? Is this leading up to the demon?
No, that was just a different
Oh,
story.
okay, sorry.
There's a lot of things that collectively happened in this house.
Yeah.
When I was still
Yeah.
sharing a bedroom with Angel, I'm not comfortable. Okay.
He comfortable?
Sorry, I'll move it. There you go. Hopefully I'm still in.
Yeah, I
should
think
be.
you will be.
So I feel like I'm really playing some personal.
Huh?
I feel like I'm playing some
I'm
personal.
enjoying it.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So when I was still sharing a room with my sister, like we had like bunk beds.
We had bunk beds. They're fun, aren't they?
Stop.
Was you top or bottom?
Top.
I was top until I broke my arm, and then I was bottom.
Mm.
And I just stayed there because it was easier to go toilet in the night.
Well, I used to like pretend I was dead on the top bunk. I was a really horrible sister. I used to like scare Angel by like making my arm like flop down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was really horrible. But anyway, I digress.
I thought you were going to carry on. And you like, it flopped down.
She used to like cry and scream and grow up.
No wonder she saw imaginary friends. She didn't have a sister. She was bullied.
She did have a sister.
Well,
An
it kept
awful one.
traumatising her, thinking she was deceased.
She got her own back though. She's fight me, so
who won?
See why? Usually Angel.
Really?
If like,
oh come on.
If I fought back, then I'd get in trouble because I'm the older one.
And also, there's a bigger age gap between you and Angel than me and my brother. Because I used to win the fights with my brother. Because even though he was bigger and stronger, I was quicker and more agile than that brute.
Brute. But yeah, no, Angel's scary though when she's angry. But anyway, I digress.
So my brother, who is terrifying.
Younger siblings are terrifying.
Evil.
I feel like they're born just to like resent us.
But then again, I think we deserve to be resented.
We were only children before them.
But also, like, you were horrible to Angel, pretending you were dead. I was a bit horrible to my brother.
But what are they there for?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like that's what older siblings always do to their younger siblings. Like, you have to bully them. It's like a rite of passage.
So we traumatise them.
Yeah. And then as they get older, it switches.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Karma.
Is it still working? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just getting used to the sound of it. Was that?
I didn't want to cough too much, so I tried to like buff it out.
I thought it was a bit sick, and then
No.
I would have had to run for the hills.
No.
Anyway, I digress. So
Again.
yeah. So we had bunk beds.
Yes.
This is related. There was one night, I was asleep in like the bunk bed, and I felt this on my head. I'm not lying. Like, I felt like somebody smacked me on the back of the head. Sorry, I should have given you a warning.
That's absolutely disgusting.
I felt somebody smack me on the back of my head.
And it was Angel.
And it wasn't, no, because she was
God.
on the bottom.
It was your mum.
I can't remember whether these were two separate times, but no, it wasn't anyone, because it woke me up. I thought it was like my dad had come in to like stroke my head or something, but he done it like a bit hard and like say goodnight. It wasn't. Found out that that's what my granddad, my dad's dad, used to do. Like, he'd like give you like a smack on the back of the head.
Okay.
And he like used to say something like box clever or something, which means like think smart.
Okay.
Like before you leave the house. I only met him when I was literally like a baby, so I can't remember him. So that might have been him. If so, could have done something nicer than like smacking me on the back of the head, but okay. Then the burp's back. Oh. It's really frustrating me.
So what happened if you got smacked?
I was just a bit shook, and then like,
How old were you?
I can't remember, but
Goodness.
it was probably either really early secondary school or late primary age.
Right.
The demon
Here we go.
was a different time, I think.
Right.
I rolled over, so I was facing the bars
Yeah.
of the bed,
Yeah.
and so vividly I remember seeing like a dog, but it wasn't like, it didn't look like a cute dog. It looked like a wolf, and it had red eyes, and it was like dribbling from its mouth, and it was like snarling at me, but it wasn't making any noise.
But like, was it eye level to the bars of the bunk bed?
Yeah.
Like your.
So it was like, it was stood up, and
what,
the
unlike
face.
back paws?
No, it had no paws. It was just the face of it, and it was like looking at me, like snarling at me, but it wasn't making any noise. And it was one of those things where I blinked, and I thought it would go away, but it didn't. So I blinked, thinking that it was go away, but it didn't go away. I absolutely pooed myself.
Literally.
I think I literally cried. I was crying and crying. I can't remember what happened after that. I think I blocked it out through trauma. But then I moved, as I got a bit older, I moved into the bedroom downstairs, more haunted than the upstairs bedroom. To the point where I'd try and go to sleep, and I thought, not to be like disrespectful to people who have like mental illnesses, but I thought I had schizophrenia.
Okay.
Because I would hear like whispering, and it would be like they were talking in like tongue.
Oh my god.
I'll reenact it for you.
No, we do not have to reenact
Okay,
it. We do not have to reenact it.
It's like I wouldn't understand what they were saying, and then they'd say my name, but then I wouldn't know what else they were saying. So it'd be like Georgianne,
Okay.
and then Georgianne, but I didn't know what they were saying.
Oh my god, girl.
There was one instance with a doll, and it was like this like weird Spanish flamenco doll, and somebody brought it for me. I can't remember who it was. Whoever it was, thanks. And it used to, I'm not lying, I saw it grab the curtain of my bedroom, and it sounds like I'm making it up.
I feel sick. Like the chills are unreal. Especially because you're saying it into the microphone, it's going right in here.
It like peeked at me from behind the curtain, and I was terrified of this doll. Like, my mum was really confused because she was like, oh, it was a present, like, you can't be scared of it. But I was like, it needs to go. It needs to get out of the room. It needs to go. And one last one that I would think of. There are like a few more.
Thank God. No, we'll just do one more.
One more.
Because I need to try and get to sleep after this ordeal.
One more is we had to leave.
Sorry.
We had to move out of the house. Because,
I see loads of circles, but I know it's just the light.
Yeah, because you're fine. I saw. So we were packing up the house, and we heard this thing, like this noise. It was playing a nursery rhyme, and
what in
we
the Conjuring?
searched everywhere.
Why?
It sounded
Why don't you just go home?
Because that's where we lived.
But
We
weren't you moving out?
searched.
Weren't you moving out?
Yeah.
Close the door, hand the key, go. Why are you looking around?
This sound used to go off a few times. We never ever worked out
my
where it
God.
was, because we thought, because we're moving out, we're going to come across whatever's made that noise. Never ever did we come across it. There was a time where the doorbell would ring and the security light would turn on, and we'd go and look and there'd be nobody there.
Really?
But it wouldn't be like, it wasn't people playing like knock door run, because you could usually hear them or see them running away.
Really?
But like the doorbell would ring and nobody would be there.
Yeah.
Just that house in general is really, really haunted.
So what happened with the nursery rhyme?
We never found what made it. We came across like old children's toys, but none of them made that nursery rhyme. Not a single one. We emptied the whole house as well. So yeah, that's cute. That was my belly, by the way.
Thank God, because I thought it was something behind my head and I was about to scream. I'm glad.
Have you got any stories? I feel like it's just been me.
I am going now.
But I don't ever like feel like that anymore. If I'm like walking in to an old house or something, I'll get like feelings where like I don't feel right.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just like energies like in the room.
I believe
Like you can sense if an energy is a bit like,
yeah,
it's
I
like
agree
dodgy.
in terms, but then like you feel like that with like sort of like vibrations of people.
Yeah.
Like people can go to me and it's like, I think this is 100% valid when people go like, you know, I don't like it when people question you like, why don't you like this person or whatever, like you don't even know them.
Yeah. Just don't like
You know,
that energy.
I'm not, you know, they're not entitled to have my approval.
Yeah.
And there are loads of people who I've met in my life, maybe I'm just a pessimist, but like there's genuinely people where it's like I don't like to be around them. Like, their energy is so negative. I feel
Yeah.
loads of people do this, but for some
Yeah,
reason,
they
if
do.
you say like, oh, I've never liked them, whatever, and people go, why don't you just give them a chance? It's like, I don't owe anyone my time.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't want to be around a certain person, I do not have to be around a certain person. So I believe in that sort of vibrational energy around people. I believe in sort of the vibrational energy of places as well. So it's like, you can enter a certain place and feel like really chilled, or just get like a really negative vibe, like, I do not want to be here, and it can come across like really like unsolicited, like, or irrational, like, why are you feeling that way? But at the end of the day, like, if that's your instinct, that's your gut, then I think it's best to listen to it. If you don't feel at place, and if you don't feel welcome, or if you don't feel at ease, if you don't feel safe, you can leave. Like, no one's making, well, hopefully no one's making you stay there. And it's the same with people. Like, you're not entitled to give people who give off those vibes as well, or places, the time. And I think that's valid. So that's sort of what I believe in.
And sort of like jumping off that, with like energy and stuff, like, it's actually scientifically proven that you can't destroy energy. It
can't be created and it can't be destroyed. That's from the Sarah Jane Adventures.
It just like goes somewhere else. So I believe, like, I'd say I believe in ghosts and spirits, but I believe in it more to do with like energies. Like, I don't think I believe in demons. I mean, I think I've seen one, but it could have also just been like my childhood imagination. I haven't seen it as an adult.
But still, the fact that that is so sort of seared into your memory, and like, you remember blinking and it's still been there or whatever, and you don't really remember what's happened because you feel like it's been suppressed or whatever. I think that's interesting, because it's like,
and they hear him whispering as well.
That's something.
It's
weird. When you describe it, it's like, it doesn't come across irrational. The way you describe it, like, it's like there was something weird going on. And the way you said as well at the beginning of this podcast, like, you know, children are more sort of susceptible to it than adults.
Or maybe,
so I find that really interesting.
I like was more like, my third eye, like, is what they call it. Maybe my third eye was more like open back then, but because of like, none of it was good, apart from the 3 lovely ladies I spoke to, because none of it was good, I sort of like decided to like.
And that's interesting as well, about the good and the bad as well. Like, it wasn't all bad. Like, you actually brought up, you know, there were some good experiences there too.
I can't remember them though.
That is, that's another thing as well.
I only remember like the bad things happening. I don't remember Angel ever like doing the laughing thing, but my mum.
Oh, bitch, I'd be trying to delete that from my memory too. I'm like, what is they laughing at, honey?
But yeah, I haven't had any like weird experiences in the new house.
I was about to say you've had loads, and then you finished in the new house. I was like, you're a liar.
I did have my CD player turn on, and it was Taylor Swift. And I was like, whoever it is a Swiftie, so I don't care. So I was like, we're going to get on there.
But what Taylor song was it?
Mine.
I don't know it, so I don't care.
You are the best thing that's ever been mine.
What?
That
I was gonna say, what language was that? What album was that?
Speak Now.
Ugh, yawn.
You've not listened to it.
Is that Love Story?
No, that's Fearless.
Ugh, Speak Now was filler. What's that then? What popped off on Speak Now? What popped off?
Enchanted.
I know the film.
I was enchanted to meet you.
No.
It's all over TikTok.
Is it?
Don't be in love with someone else.
No. What else?
Dear John.
No. Who else?
What were her singles? Ours. This love is ours.
I rest my case.
Sparks Fly.
You're just not helping your case. Speak Now was her flop era.
It wasn't. It was the album that she wrote. Sorry, I get a bit passionate when it comes to Taylor Swift. It was the album that she wrote when she was 20, and she said she got accused of having too many co-writers. So she wrote a whole album by herself at 20 years old, and said there hasn't been a single co-writer on this album, and the album popped off. It was so good. Obviously, it was more country back then, so
Was
that's
it
probably why you don't.
Fearless that she started to move into pop?
No, Fearless was the album, her second album, the album before Speak Now.
And
So
was
it was-
Fearless Love Story?
Yeah, that's old. It's an old song.
What?
So you had Taylor Swift was her debut,
And then Fearless with
Then
Love Story,
Fearless.
then Speak Now.
then Speak Now.
What, I thought it was the other way round. I thought Speak Now and then Fearless with Love Story.
No.
Because I remember Love Story was actually popped off. But Speak Now, I don't know any of their songs.
You probably would.
Anyway, this is not a Taylor Swift discussion podcast.
We will have
and
one now.
I cannot
I'll
wait.
make sure we will.
I am
No,
so-
but you like her now. What?
I like some of her music. I
But as a
don't.
person,
I don't
she's
know
lovely.
her, and
I do. I feel like I do.
I think we've reached the natural conclusion of this podcast.
Yeah.
We won't be doing.
No, I like it.
This was episode 0,
Yeah.
and when you have learnt to drive,
Yeah.
we'll do regular uploads.
Yeah.
But until then, we thought we'd give it a go, see how this works out.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it's all worked out fine,
Mhm.
and I think that's a plan. And that is a wrap. I did it again. I'm sorry.
No. Jordan would have switched off. An angel. Why are you saying it like that?
Right, we turn it off. Go up and turn it off, please. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Bye.
Toodles. Thanks for joining.
I
How
really
long was
enjoyed
it?
that.